What about the project culture that maybe it's a type of culture that you like to create, or maybe it's a different culture for a different project. What about the culture of the project? Do you find that you can influence it, or does it just happen? We've talked about you motivating people by standing back and making sure that they can sort of do what they've got to do effectively and efficiently. But do you make a culture? Do you try and influence it?
You can influence a culture, and I think how the project manager operates very much influences the culture of a project. Each project manager will develop their own style of project management, and there's perhaps no single right way of doing it. And different projects and different clients might need a different type of culture. But I think as a starting point, I think it's important that a project manager just doesn't stand back and effectively operate as somebody that issues instructions and demands and sets constraints within which people need to work, but is a facilitator of the process that supports the communication between different organisations within the project, different individuals in the project, that helps facilitate the process, that helps resolve problems and issues that arise, that helps understand what the risks are and mitigate those risks. And I think by the way the project manager acts in dealing with those issues and helping resolve some of the day-to-day problems and difficulties that arise with the project, it helps the project team come together. It creates a positive environment when issues are being dealt with, that decisions are being made, and everybody can see the project moving forward and that their efforts are actually leading somewhere. I think it can be very demotivating for individuals and demoralising for the project when there are issues that remain unresolved, that decisions aren't made effectively, or that there isn't effective communication and people don't understand why certain decisions are being made, or there's a need to rework some part of the process, or that's already gone through because a decision hasn't been communicated effectively, or a change has been made and hasn't been effectively communicated.
How do you deal with it when things do start going wrong? Maybe communications, for instance, are broken down a little bit. What would you do to try and bring back the culture that you were trying to nurture?
I think as a project manager, and you see something like that happening, then you have to step in. And there is a process of stepping in and getting closer, and then perhaps pulling back at times and letting people run with things.
You become more
as needs to be. So, well, exactly. Yes, you've got to. Where you see problems occurring, you have to step in and try and understand why those problems are occurring, and try and help resolve those problems. Or if you can't, totally resolve them, help, minimise the impact of those problems. And it's a case of understanding what's happening within the project and monitoring what's happening, and then ensuring you can step in or step back at the relevant stages to deal with problems or give people the freedom to express themselves.
So even if forgive me for saying it, you had a minimalist sort of actual presence, as it were, in terms of trying to control things, what sort of things do you have to do in being able to monitor it adequately, to see it quickly, and to step in, as it were, before things get beyond repair? So.
It's a fine balance, and can be quite tricky on complex projects where there's lots going on, and you have to use the techniques that we have, the tools that we have. Computer systems, obviously, email is very heavily used. Making sure that those systems and processes are put in place so you can effectively monitor what's happening. that you are receiving back information, that the correct level of reporting is put in place.